orcs and because of, chewing through a wall. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, why don't we do a recap of what happened last game? Season 2, Episode 25, Stop, Drop, and Roll. The party returns to the Iron Pine residence to rest after the battle at Racker's Alley. Son and Thurgus discover that the next-door neighbor, a satyr smith named Goathorn, is not well. Late that evening, Mokranam has an upset stomach.
That's true.
I think that kind of summarizes what happened, and now you guys have access to a forge that can forge up to +3 market price weapons, armor, and ranged weapons. It's a bit dirty. It's also a bit messy after the combat, and then after Goathorn, who had wandered around his own forge and shop for a little while after being turned into some sort of apocalyptic zombie creature. The greater blood veil. One of the grisly discoveries was that one of the silver coins that carried the blood veil was found in the creature's belly.
And we found footprints, right, in the blood. We had reason to suspect someone visited after he died the first time. Is that correct?
Yep. Somewhere around the time of his death, whether before, during, or after, there was a nice pair of riding boots that I believe Son thinks could very well belong to the doctors.
Yeah. Yeah, specifically the doctor that visited Crescenda Croft, I believe. Dr. Davalos.
Yep.
Davalos.
Who is the Queen's physician.
Yes. Leeds Queen's physicians.
All right. After Mokranam had his bellyache and barfed up the remains of the vampire that you guys had in his belly, including the vampire's gear, things quieted down at the Iron Pine residence. Early morning, the party begins to stir. I believe San is in the kitchen preparing his spells. Bahamut's still kind of mopey as he has 1 negative level. Bukrubek is, you can hear little chimes going off in the living area as he's lit some incense and is praying to the Bampa Damadamba, the god of commerce and of many hands. The professor kind of wakes up, is face down in some books in the library. The crawling claw is really injured. It healed your level in hit points overnight.
All right, so it's up to 26 damage.
Pixel is dancing on, I don't know, like a doily on an end table in the guest bedroom. The beds are huge. They're made for fants. So you've got a single bed, but for a very large creature, and you basically slept like a queen last night in this gargantuan bed. You found the blankets a little bit scratchy and a little bit too heavy. Thick wool comforters.
Which map are we on?
We are on the Pearl Cantina and Iron Pine residence. I can force you guys there.
Cool, thanks. Did our little buddy bear get a chance to make his save to avoid permanency, or did he already fail that?
I think Son has enough time to prepare spells before he makes the save. You guys, he got tagged by one of the vampires a couple hours into a day. It takes about an hour and a half for Son to prepare his spells, and if he gets up a little bit early, he's got time to spare.
That's what we discussed.
So coming down the stairs is Zephyros and Mokranam. He pauses for a bit. You can hear a low conversation between Bukrubek and Zephyros as they share a blessing to Bampa Damadamba, as they both are followers of that god. He then goes down the stairs and he sees Son as he's finishing up his prayers. He glances at you. He grabs like a fruit from a fruit bowl and,
oh, we're gonna go to the forge, Son.
Son's eyes like refocus. They're not bloodshot because very early in the morning.
Yep.
And it's I guess it's not particularly clear to him what you want. But he does squeeze this out. Make sure to tell Thurgus that the alchemist or the perfumer, pretty sure she now served the queen. I spoke to her in my sleep. Maybe he'd be interested.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the lavender lady?
Yes.
The ones whose shop we ruined?
Yeah. Son smiles, falls back into Dalmut's lap.
Okay. Zephyros just sort of looks at you. He glances at your bow and he stops and thinks for a moment, but quid pro dro, how's it going? Do a few groups get to run on the channel, Marty? Yeah, so there are currently, I guess, 2 campaigns that run on the channel. One is Titan's Gift, which is a game that a 1E homebrew campaign world Pathfinder 1, with some house rules that we've tweaked over the last 12 years that Pathfinder's been out. And then we're currently playing with my group of friends, mostly from Ontario, the Grimstone Chronicles, which is also 1E homebrew. We are rotating the DM in that particular campaign. Both of these campaigns, including the 8 others that we've played over the last 3 years on the channel, you could go to our YouTube if you want to watch some of those, are all part of what the chat has called, or the community has called, the Martyverse.
Martyverse.
It just is what they call it. And they're all related somehow, in that they take place in the same multiverse. Some of them do crossover. Some of them are self-referential or reference other campaigns, or even campaigns in the past that we've played off channel. I've been playing with some of these folks in this game for, I don't know, Matt, we started playing, what, 12 years ago? Something like that? 11 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm not even sure.
2008?
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah,
And then I've been playing with some of the other guys in the other channel, and the other game for, I don't know, since high school, and that would be 28 years ago, something like that.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I run 3 games a week, but two and a half games. Well, I'm saying 2.5 is like we've got a second kind of like side story to the Grimstone Chronicle quest. We are also in that campaign using a scripted bot, a bot that scripts adventures. So here's a sample of a scripted adventure it's a wall of text. But here's an adventure for 5th level characters, and this is how we're kind of seeding our not this campaign. That is how we're seeding our shared DM responsibilities and rotating it around. We've also got things like if you want to do an individual encounter for a 5th level party, or if you need if we need I don't know, what else do we have? We need a magic item for a 5th level party. So we've been dutifully scripting some of the meta things that DMs need. Oh, if you need, like, how long does downtime last for a 5th level party before something interesting happens? That sort of thing. So we're playing around with tech to make things quicker, faster. Basically, this is the insanity of being stuck indoors during the as Gene called it, the apocalypse. So yeah. Feel free to ask questions. We've got a Discord. Welcome to the community. We don't mind chatting about the things that we love to do. We also do all of our die rolling in chat, which is fun. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Zephyros. You can hear him leaving. Eventually, he goes over and he's going to knock on the door to the smithy. Oh, what's Max's bad?
Sorry, I'm
Thurgus.
trying not to eat pizza.
No worries. Thurgus, you had gotten up. You had prayed to the blood bear. You felt his divine connection. One thing that now that you've been around religious sorts, they seem to talk to their deities. Does Thurgus also talk to his deity? Like, how does he pray to his deity?
Thurgus is very much. I wouldn't say that he talks to him like he expects a response.
Yep.
It's more of like I would almost say like an uncle or a grandfatherly figure. He kind of sits and talks through his day and tells him about all the great things he did with the intent of like, you'd be proud of me. Like, oh, I fucked up these dudes in the hallway today. You should have seen it. It was amazing. And then on the days where there are like a beautiful illusions, he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad. Did you see it? Did you see it?" Like he assumes that he was there.
Okay.
He has conversations, but it's very much. It's not like he'll never ask like, "Hey, I need you to do this thing for me," or it would be really great if. It's very much a like, I'm. This is what I'm gonna do for myself, and if there's anything you think I should do, then you should like give me that gift, right? So if he gives him water breathing or something like that. It's because he has confidence that the blood bear knows what's up.
Interesting. You've noticed from your short time spending time with Bukrabek that Bukrabek's chants are much more practiced, and a lot of them are just written down in his book. Mm-hmm. So effectively, what you're describing is a much more personal relationship with your deity, and there is no canon that you read from.
Yeah, I have a holy text that I purchased. It was like 25 gold or something like that. Okay. But I'm assuming it was more like pictures, war stories, like more like a history book.
Sure.
Something about like maybe artifacts that my tribe would have protected. Something that I see as sacred to me, not necessarily like an organized religion.
Yeah, I think it probably would have the names of the different tribes of the Ursine, the Ursinals, and then... it would describe probably how each of them give honor to the god, and it also probably describes a little bit of the story of how he came here.
Okay.
Yeah. That being, he rode upon the bloody spear that flew through the heavens, and no barrier could keep it from falling.
Do I believe it to be like legit a spear? Like I don't read into any sort of like
it's
an airship or something like that or whatever. Like I believe that to be a legit spear.
It's a spear. It hit the ground, and from the earth that bled, your race stood up. And there are wars amongst the tribes of the Ursinals over fragments of the spear.
Okay. I mean, I clearly knew this, being raised.
Your tribe is the what? What's your last name? Your clan?
Bloodclaw.
Okay. The Bloodclaws do have a fragment of one of the blade of the spear.
Yeah, I think that was something that my family, we saw that as one of the artifacts to protect. Is that correct?
What's that? Sorry?
My family saw that as like one of the artifacts to protect.
Yep.
And Thurgus kind of seeing sort of protection and envoys and that sort of thing as like a path to one of the more honorable positions of like guarding the artifact. Like first you got to be blooded in combat.
All right, so the PCs, I'll just copy past some stuff. Matt is playing Pharisee. She is a fae. They're called Galthane in the standard books. We gave them a different name, like a tree spirit.
Yeah. Gathlane, I believe.
Gathlane.
Yeah.
Luke is playing the professor. I will eventually put these up on a website so that you guys can... Oh, wow. You have a really weird...
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and Luke is playing the professor, human magus wizard. We are playing with some weird Gestalt rules. Some of them achieve Gestalt in different ways. Jean is playing Son. Who am I missing?
Zephyros
Thurgus.
and Thurgus.
Max is playing Thurgus.
And Ludo. She's still with us.
And then Neil, who couldn't make it tonight, is playing Zephyros. And Zephyros is a... Some of these races are custom.
He's a giant elephant man.
Yeah, a lot of the custom races are the anthropomorphic races, or as they call in different systems, the jaw races. Just another anthropomorphic animal.
I did not know that.
I am a fan of the jaw races. And then we got others. We've got some other NPCs, but that's effectively the party right now. Oh yeah, you hear a knock at the door.
Go away. We don't want any business or anything today. We're shop's closed. Everything's fine. No one's dead.
Okay, but Zephyros wants in.
Oh, that's fine then. I'll open the door.
Okay. Yeah, you slide the lock that you fixed over the course of an hour with a mending spell. You slide the bar open, and Zephyros is there, and Makronom, which is a talking bag that is on Zephyros's shoulder. You can see two little tiny eyeballs, kind of a third one. Are kind of popped out of the edges of the bag, and he's kind of looking at you. They're blinking, not in unison.
Oh, sorry about that. You can come in.
I didn't feel like climbing through the hatch. Says
That makes sense. It's kind of small.
He squeezes by you, but yeah, he's very large. He does close up things behind him. I came over here to start to clean up.
Right. Sounds good.
May I see your sword?
Sure. Okay, so
Okay.
take it out. Hand it to him.
Yeah, he takes it. He's not wielding it. He's just sort of like letting it lie flat in his hands. He does go over and put it on a bench. He clears stuff from the bench, and then he is basically casting a spell over it. He's not touching it. He's looking at it. A minor enchantment is upon this blade.
Yeah, totally. I knew that.
Oh, are you gonna?
If I can. If we can find enough. If I can get this forge up and running, I'll be able to increase the enchantment on our weapons.
Well, that sounds pretty great. Can you make it hit like really hard?
Yes. It might require some money.
He holds out everything that he has. It's nowhere near enough. But like this.
I need to have a look. I need to have a look through things first. Clean things up. Get this back into shape.
All right. Anything I can help with?
Keep the rest of our friends safe. I was thinking. My favorite spell is Fireball. It's not going to work very well underwater.
I suppose that makes sense.
I'm going to stay here today to get this back in order.
You need to keep a sword.
No, I have work to do here before I will place enchantments upon it.
All right, sounds good.
We might also want to put enchantments upon Son's bow and my scythe.
Oh, that would be good. Make them more magic. Magic is good. Oh, it's a nice sword. I would definitely keep this for you if you asked me.
I'm all right. Think so. And he just carries it around.
Yep, he just leaves it on the table like he doesn't need it anymore. He goes and he sighs a little bit when he sees the mess in the forge, and him and Makronom wander inside.
For what it's worth, like there's like a buckle that he hangs the sword from. There's no sheath for it. He just kind of hangs it by the hilt. It's a little too big to actually unsheath.
Okay. Let me know if you need Makronam on your trek today. Otherwise, I'll keep him here to get rid of things.
Oh, yes, my stomachs are good for eating. Once they're eaten, they'll never come back.
I don't feel like I'm the right person to think about tactics and stuff like that, but I'll let you know.
You might want to speak to the others before you finish preparing your...
That is a great idea. I'm glad you thought of it. And then I'll head over next door.
I will prepare 2 water breathings, which I'll cast on you before you leave.
Is it that you breathe underwater or something like that?
He blinks, and he nods.
That sounds amazing.
He just kind of turns around and starts fixing things.
All right. I'll go back next door.
Plopping Makronam down on a bench.
Ah, lots of things for eating.
Thurgus goes next door. By this point in time, Balmut's just whining. He's whining about he's being a big sucky.
Oh.
Well, he's got a negative level. He's like, you're not making the hurt go away.
Yeah. As Son, well, let's say praying, which really means smoking for his god.
Sure.
So as he worships as one does, and kind of focuses, he's reflexively like scratching Son or Balamut to well, really just to hurt less and to whine less, but like he appreciates the pain, just can't do anything about it. Until his spells finish preparing, which
you finish preparing your spells. Thurgus is noisily coming back into the Iron Pine residence. I'm assuming locking the doors behind him. So.
Yeah, absolutely. He's pretty nervous about that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Son probably hears him, right?
Yeah, Thurgus, when you walked outside to walk back in, you actually saw somebody, like a couple of people running from down the street from one alley to another, and then you heard some far-off screams, and then a bit of smoke, just sort of a haze in the air, like there are buildings on fire.
So, in terms of like how the street looks, does it look like my problem?
No, the street looks pretty messy. Like there has been unrest here before. A lot of the doors have been a lot of the doors and windows on the main floors of the buildings in the street have been boarded up, or at least are shuttered and closed. There's not a lot of traffic, foot traffic. You just saw a couple people like darting in and out.
Got it. They're mostly like scared and scrambling and things like that.
Yeah, you get the feeling that with the rains.
Is it still pouring down rain?
No, the rains have stopped this morning. It's kind of wet and damp. You have a bad feeling that the people of this place might be waking up to something horrible.
While I'm outside, can I make a survival check to predict the weather?
Yeah.
That's a 34.
It's gonna rain!
I'm pretty sure... I don't remember exactly what it was, what the DC was.
Okay. With that, you know that the rains that have happened over the last day or so were not normal.
Okay.
And that
like they came and gone, or came and left too quickly.
Came and left too quickly. It was too much water for this time of the summer. I'm just checking what time of year it is. I forget. The disadvantage of running 3 campaigns at once. It's like when. Yeah, you guys are in the last month of summer, so while it is not uncommon to have rain in summer, storms like that came really too quickly, and they left too quickly. Today is going to be a very nice summer sunny day. With a light wind, and the sun will probably eat through those clouds. Well, if they keep on dissipating like that, probably by midday.
Okay.
It's going to be very humid.
Nice. So it says for every 5 points for which your survival check exceeds 15, I can predict it one more day in advance.
It's gonna be warm and humid for the next week,
Okay.
and it's going to likely in the middle of the day, middle to like 12 to 5 p.m., 6 p.m. is
Nice.
is probably going to be oppressively hot for those that wear heavy armor.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, by the way, so I figured I was outside. I might as well ask.
Yep.
I'll go inside and I'll try and give Son the 5-day forecast.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty hot and sweaty outside. Nice balmy 92 degrees. Just kind of rattle off.
Right.
Try to distract there.
Yeah. I mean, Son's a ranger. He probably knows, but he nods. Like, yeah, that's what I figured as well. The rain that was there yesterday wasn't right, was it?
No, that is definitely not normal. Too much water, too much, literally everything. It's awful. Someone doesn't want us to go outside. My thinking is that the Queen disguised all the clouds because she wants people to stay inside so they don't protest all this disease going around, all these zombies. And he'll just kind of spiral off into like some conspiracy theories.
Yeah. As Son's eyes redden, he gets more and more into it as well.
The party is all gathered in the kitchen as one does in the morning.
Yes. But then eventually Son was like, hey, 1 second, this is actually really important. Turns to the bear, his bear, Balma.
Mm-hmm.
Tells Thurgus to, like, get over here, help me out with this. And then here's what you need to do. Take his back paws and massage them. Do you know what massage is?
Oh, yeah. I've done that.
Good. This has no medical significance or veterinary significance in this case, but I figured, might as well. So it doesn't say that out loud.
Sure.
Then cast restoration, attempt to remove the negative level.
Okay.
Marty, for you, I want to give him the war blessing so that for a minute he can choose to have +1 luck bonus on his saving throws.
Nice.
And I'm going to tell him what a good bear he is, and I'm definitely going to use the blessing of the blood bear to give him a +1 luck bonus.
Balmut's not sure. He's letting you play with his paws because Son is instructing him to, but you can tell he's not sure about Thurgus.
Oh, you're such a good little battle bear. Oh, he's the best. Who's going to kill people today? You are.
Do you have 100 gold pieces of diamond?
Yes.
Okay.
We obtained that from a diamond that was in the party.
All right, there is a green aura that passes over Balamut, removing his temporary negative level. The 100 gold pieces of the diamond dust disappear sort of in a sparkle. It takes you about 18 seconds to cast this prayer, and Balamut pulls back his claws and it's stopped whining. Like he kind of licks a little bit at where he was touched by the vampire, and the dark mark is now gone.
Is he down hit points?
Nope. The hit points return with the negative level.
As that spell completes, I will sleight of hand Bakam's wand out and silently cast Ghost Sound. About 32 humans worth of sound of, I think, a drum beat and like rhythmic bear growls and roars will sort of crescendo as Balmut rises again, fully formed.
Okay, Balmut's confused and is looking around for the bears. Just run around the kitchen looking for them.
Yeah, I think it's so as well. Like that sounds.
Well, quite an
Thursday's just gonna find a nice water basin.
Yep.
And fill it up with create water, and then summon a Nixie because she can.
Nice.
Okay.
And now we'll have a little conversation in Faye. We're going swimming today.
That's
So
nice.
I just wanted to call and get your blessing.
Okay.
Nixies can cast water breathing at caster level 12.
Oh yeah.
What would you like me to do? It's a summon creature. There's a little green fairy lady in this tub of water.
Can you make my friend Pixel and I breathe water for the day?
Okay. Cast a spell.
Thank you.
No problem.
And then we'll just shoot the shit in Sylvan.
Summon creatures are really vapid. The summon creature just sort of agrees with the things that you say, and it doesn't really have much knowledge about the world and things around it. It has some knowledge about. Let me have a look at Nixies.
Just kind of random though. And, yeah.
It's kind of like encyclopedic knowledge as opposed to like street smarts and like totally missing any context as to where it is, and it doesn't seem to care.
Oh sure.
Okay.
And largely uninterested in my world, I imagine.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
It leaves you wondering, like, from whence do these fae that I summon come from?
Where indeed? Where do all the summons come from, guys?
Sometimes you don't need the answer.
Yes. She disappears in a swirl of water, and like, do I throw the water out or?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of dump it down a drain, not wanting to reuse the Nixie water.
Sure.
Although theoretically, you know that everything about the Nixie disappeared when the spell ended. Like, she would have left no trace behind, organic or otherwise. Bukrabek is smiling at you.
That is a very economical use of your spells. Ha 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 ha!
I'll grin at Bukrabek. I agree.
Yep, he offers you part of the apple he was peeling. Okay, it sounds like you guys have breakfast and are preparing your spells.
Where is Zephyros?
Oh, he is cleaning up that forge next door, and he told me that if we, what was it? If we want to take Mokranome with us, we can. Otherwise, he's gonna eat a bunch of crap and clean that place up, so we can make lots of really cool magic stuff. For me in particular, but I think he meant everyone.
That sounds good to me. I have a few requests I'd like to make myself.
Yes. Do we think we need the Zephyros when we go into the bog?
I think he said he was going to cast some water breathing on some of us before we left. But other than that, he entrusted me to do an amazing job of keeping you all safe. So when we get back, you guys are all, still alive. It's thanks to me. And if anybody dies, blame Zephyros.
Oh, very reassuring.
Okay.
Good talk.
Also this morning, were any of you injured by Bloodhorn in the fight yesterday?
No, I don't think that ever actually happened. He just kept missing Thurgus in the doorway, and then a lot of zaniness with dropping.
All right,
quirk today.
Yeah, there was that dropping items and picking them up a lot.
Yeah. Now I'm also asking who engaged in melee against Goathorn.
I did. I know that I made at least one fortitude save. That's what you're getting at for fishing through his intestines to pull that coin out, which I was successful at.
Yep.
I don't know if you need me to make others.
There was I flanked him, but I don't think I attacked
Okay, well that was
I did attack him.
That was in melee. So I do this morning just through being in the general vicinity of somebody who was
We made a point to clean up the loot last night and put it, like, wash it down a drain or something like that before we went to bed. But...
Son and Thurgus, I need one save this morning just to see if you...
Just straight fortitude?
Yep.
Oh, that's a sword for me. 16 with a low roll.
27.
No. Nobody's going anywhere today. We got to take care of our tank.
There's nothing wrong.
Marty, I don't know if I can trust you as the DM ever saying that with that tone of voice after a roll.
For what it's worth, let me double check.
Yeah.
Last night I still had a remove disease left.
Yep.
Would I have any reason to cast that on myself before I went to sleep?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, and you cast it on, I believe, the bow.
Oh, you're right.
Some of the items. We burned through the remove disease pretty thoroughly.
Yep.
So I don't know how this would translate to role-playing conversation. So someone please advise. But I do know that Son knows that regular Blood Veil is DC 16, and stronger Blood Veil is DC 18.
I would say that you would suspect, like, you wouldn't know what I rolled.
Right.
No.
You would suspect that he was.
No one in your party is showing signs of Blood Veil currently.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. You could have, like, a concern, I would say, in character. That's pretty scary. You were living next to a super diseased dude.
Yeah, we've role-played through that a couple times back when we were in Bastara. I remember that.
Thurgus also spent the night sleeping in the...
I super did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's no effect. Thurgus, you feel fine.
It's great.
Yep. I did make a note at the top of your character sheet. Just as
Okay.
FYI. Okay. What are you guys doing? It is
Well-
after your daily preps. It's about you got up a little bit early. It's about 8 a.m.
Well, I suppose Zephyros should cast this water breathing on the lot of us, and we should head over to the Direption's final resting place and see about the cursed coins down there, or something to that effect.
That sounds good to me.
Wasn't there a wand one of you picked up that could lengthen the duration of spells like this?
Yes, I believe there was a rod.
Yes. It would be a good place to use it.
A rod of lesser extend metamagic rod, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, you did have a chance to look through Goathorn's gear, and I think you guys did divvy up some of the stuff.
Yeah.
The vampire, the belched up vampire bits had some magic in it that you guys looked at this morning. The lesser metamagic rod of extend spell should be on somebody's character sheet.
I think Ferris has it right now.
I'll take it if no one else wants it. It's not on my sheet, but I can move it over.
I am moving it over right now.
My vote
Sounds
is for Ferris just because of buffs and all kinds of cool stuff.
I'll use it for Good Hope.
It is going under your slot list. If that's
Sounds good.
okay. Yeah, Zephyros does. Well, you have to go see him. He's actually in the smithy.
Shall I bring the carriage around?
It is a fancy ride.
Better than walking.
Excellent. First, shall we go to speak with Zephyros before we leave?
Yes, so that he can let the rest of you breathe water. Pixel and I are fine.
Yes, let's have a quick conversation with him.
Okay. Booker back in the
Professor,
party.
if you could make the carriage a little different every day so that we're not tracked back to this hideout as you would, that would be probably wise.
Yes, of course. Any requests for today's transportation?
Can you make it driven instead of horses by bears?
That is a bit more difficult, I'm afraid.
What
That's
if
too
the
bad.
carriage was a giant snail shell?
Not my first choice, but I suppose it's doable. Just a moment.
One of these days, we'll just do something inconspicuous.
You could just make it a death cart.
No. A lot of those around.
One of those things that like goes around and picks up bodies and stuff.
He gives you a grave look.
Before we leave, can I go get that water breathing?
You guys are leaving and going over to talk to Zephyros. Zephyros actually locked the door. He comes over and unlocks it. He doesn't let you in. This place is dirty. You can see that.
Sorry about that.
You can see that him and Makranam look like they're mopping or using prestidigitate or something. You can see a lot of the filth being moved around.
So am I coming with you guys to the swamp, or am I staying here to help Zephyros? Either way, I'm good.
I suppose Zephyros does need your assistance.
Okay, I will continue to dispose of things that he doesn't need. I'm getting fed lots today.
Oh, good.
Are you feeling okay, Makranam?
Yeah? Why?
Well, this place was infested by a blood veil carrying zombie, and you actually got sick. I don't think blood veil develops immunity.
I don't know, but I haven't touched anything icky.
How do you eat without touching it?
Whoa. Zephyros is cleaning everything with prestige, whatever
I believe
that
in you,
spell's
baby.
called. The
Right.
digitation.
I gotcha. Well, if you feel sick, let me know. Otherwise, wish us luck.
Good luck.
Probably gonna need it.
He casts 2 water breathing. One he'll divide between Thurgus and Son and the bear, and the other he'll divide between... Actually, no, it'll be Thurgus and the professor, and then Son and the bear will get the other one. So he's 8th level, so you guys have 4 hours of water breathing apiece.
Awesome. We're just gonna head straight.
Bukerbeck doesn't want to be part of that because he's got his own water breathing that he can cast. He'll refresh it upon the party if need be.
Mhm.
You're guessing it'll take you about half an hour to an hour to get to the location.
Marty, for that box of alchemical perfection, do I need to tell you when it recharges? There's only 1 potion missing to my knowledge, so I'm assuming I can just refresh that.
Yeah, is it every day? I forget what the...
Just once per day, box spawns a random missing potion.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I trust you to roll a d6 and go down
Okay.
in order of the stats.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't want to manage that.
I want to know.
It was
Okay.
just say
Yeah.
It's not.
But I do want to see the d6 roll if they're, or the rolling or whatever. But yeah.
Marty,
Have fun.
water breathing, it says 2 hours per level. Is this spell level?
Oh, sorry, cast level. 2 hours per level is oh yeah, so you guys have 8 hours each. Yeah, sorry, math.
nice.
Or caster level?
Yeah, his caster level's 8. So he
Okay.
gave Balama 8 hours, Son 8 hours, Professor 8 hours, and Thurgus 8 hours.
Okay.
Sweet.
Worth putting on your tokens.
Yeah.
Does Bukerbeck have access to freedom of movement?
He did level overnight, but he is not a 7th level cleric. He is a 6th level cleric.
Okay.
He was 5th, but the recent adventures with Bukerbeck, he's not as mighty as the rest of the party.
Okay.
Marty, I'm going to put something in VC chat. It's not much, but I think it's a ride.
Done.
It's the best I could do on short notice. Wasn't really expecting a snail-themed transportation, but where is that driver? Driver, bring the carriage around.
Okay, there's this awkward-looking carriage that is summoned.
One of the spells that Song prepares is freedom of movement. He actually knows it.
Nice.
It is a weird snail-shelled thing.
Ha ha ha! Perfect.
Bukerbeck steps inside, and the spirit horses look the same, and so does the spiritual driver of this weird contraption. It has roughly the same amount of space as before. There's a little platform on top where the bear could probably sit.
That is awesome. I love it.
That's great.
Pixel likes it too. She senses everyone's happiness around the thing, and she's busily dancing and doing little pirouettes over top of things.
You're right. It is delightful.
Yeah, well, thank you. Not my best work, but...
Bear's on.
Approved.
Is the bear on top, or are you piling the bear inside? Given that Zephyros is not coming with you, there is room.
Yeah, probably inside then, for, inconspicuity.
Inconspicuousness? Yes.
No, inconspicuity.
Okay.
I like it better.
And yeah, you guys have room for everyone to go inside. So you pile inside. Professor, what are you doing?
Driver, take us to the last known resting place of the Direption, please.
Okay.
It will start rolling. I think the professor probably remembers.
Are you bringing it to the storm sewers that lead down into the washing area that is flush with the water level of the swamp, or are you going to the cliff that is like 100 feet above the swamp?
I think we'll just start rolling, and the professor will say, shall we make our approach from above or from farther below?
Do you mean the cliff that the Nazumi took us to?
Yes, or she pointed out some sort of lower area as well.
Well, those cliffs are like 100 feet up. We'll, most of us, except Pharisee, will probably just crash if we try to descend, right? So I guess it has to be the sewer.
Makes some sense.
We can breathe water now, so why don't we just go through the sewers?
I don't think we're swimming.
You would say that. I suppose it does make the most sense, so... driver to the sewers, please.
Okay. Let's see if there's any random encounters today. Ooh. You actually roll by an alleyway where you see about 6 zombified creatures all bent over eating something.
Oh, well, it seems the neighborhood has gotten worse. I didn't think it was possible, but there you are.
Are you stopping?
I don't think we are. I mean, unless it's someone we know. Like, if it's obviously like...
We roll by, like I look my head out the window.
Oh, that looks like that does.
Are there any of those particularly quick ones?
You could turn around and have a look. You just spotted 6 obviously rotten people kind of leaning down, and they were eating something, and there was a lot of red in the alleyway.
I won't leave the carriage. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. How about we remember the location, though? Where is there like street sign or something?
The location, sure. Let's go up to Grand Station. You guys were, you guys are on Harrowstone Lane, and you're traveling to around Two Cistern Way. So this was kind of on the edge of the Sloughborough Market Square.
As Thurgus as we start to ride away, Thurgus starts to wonder out loud, like,
Oh, what if it was like a mom or something, and like the kids nearby, and it's like hiding, and it's our fault that we left, and we could have saved like something little.
Or what if there's a particular dastardly swindler of the Sioux who's been overcharging for rent and food all these years, and he's hiding, and he is about to be devoured by these hideous creatures?
Well,
If he's a landlord, he's not going to be. If he's a landlord, he's not going to be living in the slough, though.
Okay.
There's all sorts of unsavory characters.
You got
people and take their stuff.
you guys are riding along as you turn down several streets, as you guys are having this theoretical conversation about who the victims may have been. Yes, the adventuring party is called the Jerks Emeritus. Something stumbles into the road and kind of turns towards your horses. Bloodshot eyes, partially kind of waterlogged, rotten-looking face. It reaches out towards the spirit horses, and your whole carriage just sort of runs it over.
Oh no, it's a meth hat.
It disappears underneath the carriage. The carriage bumps a little bit, and there's sort of a one of the zombies got hit as you guys were riding through the streets.
Dude. Well,
They're not very good at getting out of the way.
Seems there's a lot of that in the neighborhood today.
All right, you reach the washer area. It's basically the descent into the sewer or the storm drain that leads down into a big storm drain tunnel that is level with the Lillypad Swamp. You're gonna have to get out of your carriage at this point.
I suppose we must disembark. Shall we gear up with our more longer duration spells?
I think that's a good idea.
I'll cast Mage Armor, Invisible Familiar. I'm gonna throw Endure Elements on.
Yeah, it's rather you could tell there's going to be a bit of a heat today, and it's sort of warm and sticky already.
Yeah.
Mage armor. I'm gonna mage armor. Let's say Pixel.
are you guys doing just hours or 10 minutes per level?
Probably hours for the moment.
I'm tossing up magic vestments.
What is it? Do we see any more of these zombies since we've gotten closer to where we're about to get out of the carriage?
No, you didn't. Although the streets are pretty quiet this morning.
I'll use the Pearl of Power and put major armor on myself as well.
Okay. Where is that on quick reference?
Oh, I'm going to force you guys to a new map. I've already copied your tokens. Sorry, if you could...
Oh, sure.
I'm going to move you to a different green box. This green box.
Mage armor. +4. The crawling hand will be inside the fleshcraft bag on me, just chilling until it senses like I would need its assistance.
Does Pharisee, do you need water breathing?
Nope, I have it. Pixel does as well. Our Nixie friend gave it to us.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to expose a bit of a map to you guys off to the side. This red area is a stairwell that begins to descend from street level into the big tunnel that is the storm drain. You can see all sorts of wicker baskets and clotheslines and clothespins all over the place. Your snail carriage is basically parked right outside.
Okay. Can I put myself there-ish before we start, sort of?
Yeah. You guys are standing around there for a few moments. It sounds like casting a load of spells.
Yeah, I'll cast mine before I get out of the carriage. And one of them will be invisibility.
I'm going to cast See Invis on myself. And Heroism.
Oh, shall we get on with it?
Son kneels down and just takes a look at the ground to see like what usually walks around here. You know, if you can tell by the footprints, paw prints, claw prints, you know, wing prints, anything like that.
Ooh, fortune point. Ahmed's hooking us up with
Nice.
Delightful.
Thanks, Ahmed.
I put to good use last game, even though I didn't make the roll. It felt like the right time to use it. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thurgus, when you get to about here, you're casting spells. You can hear what sound like a lot of frogs.
There's a lot of frogs down there.
It's echoing throughout the sewer tunnel. You guys have been down here before, so you sort of know what the layout is. There is the dark gray is flat. There is the staircase leads down into the sewer into the storm drain, and there is deep water where people tend to do their washing, and then out this direction leads into the Lillypad Swamp.
Okay.
Unless this light gray is actually like the big storm drain tube, but you can hear a lot of frogs down there.
Okay. Unless anybody holds me back, and if people are finished casting spells, I'm just gonna start heading downstairs or down.
Well, Son kind of puts his hand up, like, hold up a second, let me take a look. And Marty, did you hear what I said about, you know, taking a look at the ground, looking for tracks or anything?
This is a place where half the neighborhood comes to do laundry. There are so many tracks.
Gotcha. Okay, then
give me your. Well, what's your survival check?
Tracking 23, survival 19.
No one's been here since the rains.
All right.
Still inside.
Yeah.
Do you hear the sounds of any bullywugs in there?
No, I don't hear any sounds of Fae either.
Good. Just frogs then.
Some of the ribbits are very loud, very deep.
Like dire frog deep.
Like really, like was that a bull?
Oh wow.
Because you can hear some splashing.
Weapons out. I'll head downstairs then.
Okay.
If someone's done. I'm not sure what the marching order is for everybody else.
Balamut follows, and Son right behind. And yeah, weapons out at this point. Like, this is clearly potentially unfriendly territory.
All right. I'm going to open up the combat sheet and mark down those fortune points.
What does the fortune point give us again? It's like +4 and
it's a +2.
+2 and a roll?
Yep.
A roll we select or just the next d20?
A roll that you select.
Gotcha.
Spent this way.
And post factum or before roll?
Before you roll. The stream could spend points to give you a retroactive +2. But... All right, so Matt, Luke, Gene, and Max all get a fortune point.
Is it like this session, or can it be banked in for the future?
This session.
Gotcha.
Oh.
I'm going to rename the scarage Snailage.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to do a knowledge nature to see if I recognize this type of frog from the sound it's making.
Sure. Which one? The little ribbits or the big deep ones?
Can I do one then the other?
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out, are these normal for this area? 33 and 30?
Yeah, you live in Grand Station. You've heard these frogs before. Children will commonly catch them. There's probably half a dozen minor species of frogs that are down there that you can hear kind of in a mix. They may have come down into the sewer drain to avoid the violent storm, and they're just kind of all here. The big bull frog sounds, and I'm talking about something emanating from something like the size of a cow. Those are likely giant frogs, and there are several species in this swamp that you know about.
Do be careful, gentlemen. The small ribbits are from an indigenous species quite common to the area, but the large ones, they get quite large.
Like Zephyros size large, you mean?
Do I know if it would be quite that big? As Zephyros?
You've heard of these things growing as big as your wagon.
Yes, they could get that large, and the striped ones are poisonous. Do be careful. The ones with colorful decorations may cause some long-term poison.
Thurgus just throws his head back.
Oh my god, what you guys eat here?
But carry on.
Jealous of the size of the creatures.
The really big frogs are called Goliath frogs.
Goliath frogs, to be precise.
I want to be a Goliath. Can I be a Goliath bear?
Maybe. We can discuss it later when we're home. Please, just don't get yourself killed until then.
Thurgus just starts asking a bunch of questions about Goliath frogs.
Okay, at this point in time,
disregarding any intent of
yeah,
stealth.
Thurgus, you hear like a really big splash. It sounds like it's just around the corner here.
You guys, I think I heard one of them.
And I run out there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Balmut's been instructed to follow closely.
All right. There is a Goliath frog that is submerged in the tunnel. Let's see if you guys see it right away. Or let's do a perception check.
Is Bookerbeck following us?
Bookerbeck's following you. He's support. He's not charging down. Let's see. Thurgus, 15. You heard it. You suspect something is there. I'm going to give you a +2. Its stealth right now, submerged, is 18. You actually don't see the thing. Like, it's underneath the water. You're like, where is it? And there's like water pouring from little tiny drains into this place. It's all wet. You could see dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of little tiny frogs hopping around on the platforms, and they're jumping into water. And you can see a big bullfrog, like, I mean, about the size of a cat, and it's doing the expansion of its I forget what the thing is called. The
thing it has.
The big air filter thing. Anyways,
thing.
Yeah.
Is the water deep enough to stand in? Can I tell?
No, the water is moving. There is flow to the water as the rains from the previous days are still draining through through this place. There's no chance of you being washed away where you're standing.
Okay, I'll walk as far as I think it's safe to stand, like with the water.
Balmut, sees the frog and is reacting and is trying to get through. Unfortunately, Balamut right now is squeezing, and I think there's going to be an initiative, and Balamut and the giant frog get to act in the surprise round.
Okay.
I'm going to go to initiative and take off Goathorn. Add some Goliath frogs. Why? Because nature.
God, I gotta give me some of that Goliath food.
Finds a way.
You son of a bitch.
Alright, I'm just going to use my quick initiative method. Jam some random numbers into our initiative sheet.
I'm reading
Macronom's not here, Zephyros not here.
about bullfrogs on Wikipedia.
Did you figure out what that thing where the
No.
Thurgus, Balamut gets to react. He gets a standard or a move. I think he's going to just move towards the creature. And he's like kind of clawing at the water. He sees something and is trying to let you know that something is there. The frog is going to react. Let me just take a glance.
Sorry, Balamut. I shouldn't have let him through my square.
It probably can't swallow a Balamut, at least a frog of that size, so it's going to go after something that's shiny.
I'm very shiny.
Yeah, there's a frog head that emerges from the running water. Its mouth opens really wide, and
what the fuck is that?
and his tongue flashes out towards Thurgus. And what is your flat-footed CMD?
Flat-footed CMD. So that's no dex, correct? I believe.
I have it in the sheet.
Does this count as a bull rush, overrun, or trip?
Ooh, that's a good question. I do not have that.
Oh, it actually has to touch you first. What is your flat-footed AC?
My flat-footed AC is 29.
Okay.
Touch AC?
Wait, touch?
Yeah.
My flat-footed touch is 12.
That sounds a lot more believable.
Okay, nat 20. The
Yeah.
the tongue kind of just sort of sticks to the front of your armor, and it does no damage. So I'm not going to bother rolling the confirmation of the critical.
Okay.
It, however, is pulling you in, and this is against your flat-footed CMD.
25.
It's a 28. All right, so you are grabbed by the frog, and you've been pulled up to the frog.
Grapple condition?
You are grappled, yep.
Okay.
But the frog does not gain the grapple condition. It's just this weird, stringy tongue that is grappling you. And then I need to read its swallow hole.
Usually swallow hole is when they start their turn, they succeed on a grapple. Then they can swallow it.
A creature that begins its turn with an opponent grappled in its mouth. Okay, so yeah, it's luring you into its mouth, this multi-hundred pound frog. It's you found it. And there's some splashing around in the water over near the where the water pours out into the swamp itself, and Balamut does see the two other frogs underneath the water. They are submerged.
And they're like roughly the same size, right?
Yep. Bukrabek, he can hear some splashing. He's going to move down. He sees,
no, be careful.
And he's going to cast a bless spell. Pharisee? Oh, no, sorry. You guys were surprised. Never mind. he's not going to cast his bless yet. It is now the beginning of the actual turn. So Thurgus, you can react.
So this is no bless. Is that correct?
No bless.
All right. I think if I cast an immediate on my turn, it eats my swift, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or if I already used a swift this turn, does it eat my next swift?
Your swift actions recharge on your turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna cast Liberating Command.
Okay.
On myself. So I get a bonus equal to twice my caster level. So that'd be 16 on a escape artist check.
Awesome.
So 1d20. That's a 33.
Yeah, you managed to kind of roar out a spell, and yet the tongue kind of bloop, goes right back into the frog's mouth, almost snapping back into its mouth with a certain amount of elasticity, and there's weird motion in its mouth, like it would have. It's like eating its own tongue or something. It's strange.
Gross. And then I will just full round attack.
The thing's eyes are really big, and you can see it's got 2 sets of eyelids that are peeling back in the running water. It is on the surface of the water, so you are kind of striking through a bit of water as you're trying to get at him.
Okay. Do you need me to modify that, or will you modify
No,
AC?
I'm giving it its cover.
Understood. So without the grapple condition, my primary is plus 15, so it's a 28.
Yeah, +1 for being above it, because it's kind of like in the water and you're standing on flat ground. Yeah, you strike the thing. Your sword plunges down and goes into its froggy flesh. You can feel something pop as you're pushing through its amphibian skin.
For 22 points, as he busts out, "Gah!
Okay.
Dude, they're so gross. You're supposed to take me a dinner first." And he swings.
Yeah, the thing is thrashing around. It looks like you heard it, and 32, 40. You did not bloody it with that swing.
Okay. The next swing, I did add the +1 for high ground, so it's a 24 to hit.
That also hits the frog.
For 19 points of damage.
That definitely bloodies the frog. It's hurt bad. There's blood in the water.
That's it for me.
Okay, taking 2 swings into the water with your adamantine greatsword. Yeah, once you hit the frog, there's nothing, like its skin is not going to stand against your adamantine strength. Balamut.
Probably shocked and traumatized by the presence of a frog, but he saw that it attacked Thurgus, so he just attacked it.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a full round attack.
Nice.
Does he count as being above it as well?
Yep.
Okay. So 12. It's bite, claw. So this is bite.
Yeah, he sinks his teeth into the frog flesh.
So, this is damage from the bite.
Okay, the frog is in that state that never happens.
Nice.
It is disabled, but still moving.
So I guess this is your decision then. Would Balamut know that it's disabled?
No, Balamut will keep on hitting the monstrous frog that is of a different class of animal than it.
That makes sense. So claw, 26, 26, plus 6. 8.
Yeah, the frog is now kind of floating away, and Balamut's final claw for the round basically ends up killing it.
When you say floating away, is there actually enough current to carry that creature, or is that just?
Yeah, there's water rushing up around it. It will eventually slowly go down the storm drain. But yeah, Balamut is basically unleashing on it and pulling at it with his teeth, and the frog is no longer kicking. The other Goliath frogs, this one comes right out of the water, It kind of just hops up onto the area. Little frogs are fleeing from it, and it starts to hop towards you with big, wet, slapping hops. Moves at 30. That's about 10. Moves another 20. Okay, it gets to there. And then moves again to about here. The other one is swimming. And moves to here. The current carries this frog 5 feet.
Can frogs actually swim?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they kind of kick their feet.
Yeah.
Right. I know tadpoles can. I didn't know if actually...
Bukerbeck does come down. He sort of catches a little bit of a look of a giant frog, and now he casts his bless spell. Pharisee?
Pharisee is going to cast resistance on herself.
Okay.
And then start Bard Song.
Okay, that does not stack with bless.
Right.
Professor.
Oh, what's going on up there? I hear all this commotion but can't see a thing. I will take a full round action to do dual spell casting. I'll 5-foot step forward, and I will cast haste, which should get everybody. I think I can do more than we have people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is your crawling claw out, or is it stowed away in your belly button bag of holding?
It was. I think it's going to come out to get the bless, and then next round it'll climb back in. But yeah, I'll be able to get everybody with, or not bless, haste. Sorry. So I'll get everybody with haste.
Okay.
And with my other spell I cast with this full round, I will do reduce persons silently.
All right, so the professor shrinks behind you, Son, to about the size of a halfling.
Well, he's also invisible.
Also invisible. I don't know if you have to see invisibility or not. Okay, Son, what are you doing?
Well, Son can't see shit, but he heard that Balamut was scratching something, so he'd naturally run up. Probably to like here.
Yeah, oh, those are big frogs.
Yeah. Kind of sad that they need to die, but you know, so the story goes. The weapon was out already, so just fire. Well, so he moves, so it's really just a single shot, right?
Yep, single shot from your oversized bow. Yeah,
at the frog that's number 2. So like this one.
The one that's out of the water? Okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely easier to hit. You don't get a +1 from above, though.
Sure. Although cover wouldn't work against me, but I don't know if that's what the reason might. Anyway, it's point blank, right?
Yep. What feat is that? That is it improved precise shot? That
yes.
Wow.
32.
Okay. 32, yeah. Your arrow strikes true. The arrow actually goes into the roof of the frog's mouth as it's kind of getting ready to lash its tongue out at Balamut.
Yeah, and this is normal arrow, by the way.
Yep.
So, because I don't know if electric hits like in a special way, so this is like the physical damage from the arrow.
Yep. And
then this is the electric damage.
Sure, you definitely shock a frog. You do 14 damage. The frog, yeah, kind of gets shocked a little bit. One of its eyes looks all fucked up, but it's still coming forward. Top of round 2, Thurgus.
Oh, these are big puppers.
Yeah. Sorry, someone who's scratching at the door. Yeah, so...
We should call the puppy Wall Eater.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure, the Wall Eater. I am actually going to try and tank these frogs. So I'm gonna standard action total D and move action right in their face.
Okay, looks like you do not incur any AOs. Give me a second. No, never mind. They do threaten with the tongues.
Okay.
So you're getting 2 tongues lashed at you as you're leaving this square.
Understood. My new touch AC is 18.
Nice. The one that is up top, it's AC 23.
Yeah, that succeeds.
And then the one down below, it hits AC 23. So you got 2 tongues lashed to you.
Do it.
And, oh yeah, they need to make their CMBs.
Nice look.
31.
Best I got, guys.
Okay, only one of them. Oh, 31?
Yeah.
Neither one of them, so they don't get to play.
Because you dodge.
They don't get to play tug of war with Thurgus. Yeah, both tongues kind of lashed out and hit you, but you managed to kind of like twist with your armor enough that the tongues did not stick. They are croaking weirdly and look like they're ready to eat you. Like they're.
I try and croak in their face.
Okay.
And just taunt them.
All right. So that was the full defense as we're all showing off.
I'm not going to spend a swift this turn.
Showing off our pets.
Nice. Nice.
Oh.
The oldest eye I own.
Oh, that was
Guy.
Nice.
We missed it during the prep. It was actually his birthday last Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah, we celebrated. Like throw a party.
One?
It was great. Yeah, he's 1 year old.
All right, Balmut. Balmut is angry with these frogs. He doesn't like their sound. He doesn't like their taste. He doesn't like them.
That's correct. So he will promptly step like this.
Yep, and then full round the frog in the water.
Yes, if that's possible.
Yep, the thing has an AC of 23 in the water.
Okay. And yeah, this is normal for round. This is not power attack.
Okay.
So bite, claw in that order. Bite.
Missed.
Yes.
Putting his snout in the water and coming out with nothing.
Yeah. 20.
Okay, he claws at the water. He ends up killing a tiny frog and not the real big one.
It had a comment anyway. 34.
That one, the right claw comes in and scores a hit underneath this thing's big bulgy eye.
Being above doesn't help damage, right? Just
nope.
Hit.
Just hit.
All right, 11.
11 damage. You scratch the thing near its eye and tear at its one of its eyelids. It still has a lot of fight left in it. Oh, your haste attack.
Oh, that's right, because full round. Haste spit can be either bite or claw, right?
Yep.
Then bite.
Hey, he sticks his snout in the water again.
23.
Hits.
Oh, yeah.
Tearing at its weird frog leg.
12.
12 damage. 23. It is not bloodied yet. Alright, the Goliath frogs get to retort. Thurgus looks shiny, and Thurgus looks tasty.
Yeah, he does.
I am a delicious looking bear. I'm like a Teddy Graham.
The one outside the water is definitely attacking Thurgus. Let's see. It's just going to bite you. It's going to, like, just try to put you in its mouth.
Yeah, baby.
AC 21?
No.
Okay. It tried to lash out with its tongue and eat you, and you managed to push it back. And then the one in the water is going to bite Balmut, kind of almost instinctually. Nat 1. AC 14 is a critical miss. It's not carrying any items, because then it would be a boggart. Yeah, it's unfortunately the extent of Goliath Frog's attacks. Bukrabek.
I'd appreciate if you stopped it with the frog jokes.
He's gonna come out. He's gonna avoid the water.
Sorry, Bookerbeck, what was that? Do you know these guys?
I did not make the joke when Bahamut and you were... When you were holding his paws this morning.
I was told that was to make him feel better.
And it did.
I look at Balmut. He's a good bear.
I think Bukerbek's just kind of hiding behind his shield and kicks at a couple of the frogs into the water, and he's just being defensive. Pharisee.
Pharisee is going to let Bardsong linger.
Okay.
And...
I'm sorry to interrupt. Where was Pharisee this whole time? Like, it looked like she was outside the tunnel?
This is a staircase that is open to the street outside, so it's just descending next to the street. Yeah, yeah. So she actually flutters down and in?
Yeah, I'll come into here. And then I'm going to... hex the attack rolls for Giant Frog 2.
Okay, the one that is out of the water will save?
Will save.
Wow. My Goliath Frog is a +1 will save. Does a 13 make it?
It does not.
How many rounds is it misfortuned? Oh no, evil-eyed?
Evil-eyed for... plenty, I believe is the word. I think 9 rounds.
9 rounds? Okay.
I think 8 rounds. It might be a little bit more.
Okay.
I'll double check it.
I think it's like half level plus your int mod or something.
Professor.
Ooh, what is going on up there?
Frogs is going on out there. Frogs.
Can I see the frogs?
I've been playing the frog sounds in the background for the stream.
Yeah.
I can't wait till the fight's over. I need less frogs.
Can I see? I can't really see what's going on down there, can I? I'm also like really small now.
Yeah, you can definitely hear Bahamut roaring and Thurgus talking, and there's an echo because they're in like a big tunnel.
The crawling claw is gonna crawl back into the pouch.
Okay.
And the professor is gonna grumble about not being able to tell what the hell's going on, and is gonna cast fly on himself. And then is gonna fly over. Like, this tunnel is like
You have to go this way.
Okay. Yeah. And then into here, up off the ground near the ceiling to see what's going on. I'll have some movement, so I may, depending on what is going on either direction, I may move around a little bit.
It's just the darkness of the tunnel continues into the understreets of the city, and you can see that there's light at this end and lots of frogs. Most of them have jumped into the water or jumping away, like all the little ones. And there are 2 big ones that are definitely in the middle of trying to eat Thurgus and Bahamut.
I'll fly to the other side and kind of hide up by the ceiling.
Okay, it is a rounded ceiling, so you're kind of hiding along the top there. If one of the frogs did get out of the water, it probably could reach you. Now that you've made yourself nice and small and tasty. Son.
I don't think it necessarily applies here, but when one becomes smaller, does their speed reduce?
No, but dexterity goes up.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. So.
Maybe is the answer.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just wondering because Professor moved pretty far.
He's flying.
No, I flew.
He's a hasted flyer right now.
Hasted flyer, so I zip around pretty quick.
Worry about your own character. Go.
Yeah. No, I learned rules. I'm not saying something wrong.
Good.
The frog that Bahamut, Tom hates it now. He wants it to die. It's a rapid shot, I guess.
Yep. Attacking the back square, you're in point blank shot +1 from above, and you're ignoring the cover from the water. So instead of an AC of 23, it's AC 15.
Right. So
Submerged creatures get a +8 AC from cover.
yeah.
Hit.
Prime 31. So that was regular. Do you want me to just add another D6 for electric, or do you want them tracked?
For these frogs, you can add it all together. So
okay, so this is electric. So
17 damage puts it at 40. You've bloodied the frog.
Okay. Yeah, another attack.
The arrow digs into to its back, and it flips around in pain.
30.
As it was flipping around, you're like, that looks like a soft spot, and you get it right underneath its chin.
Do they have chins? Yeah, so that's the second arrow.
The frog is now no longer moving in the water.
They're 38% chin, in fact.
Oh,
right. It's just...
Right. Yeah. Then...
Nice surface area.
Right. Sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, if he sees it stop moving, he'd attack the other frog. And this is the haste attack. So.
So much chin.
Yeah. 25.
Yeah. You hit the frog in its eye.
19.
Okay. 33. That injures the frog badly, but it's still flipping around and moving.
Okay, last attack. Oh wait, because it's no longer above 23.
Yeah, the arrow goes right in between its two eyes.
17.
Blood everywhere, zapping it. Are you kidding me? 50 damage in that state that never happens.
Oh, there you go.
It's still up, being electrocuted. It looks kind of like stunned. I think Thurgus is going to get the honor.
I will full round attack with power attack.
Okay, you just need to hit once.
There you go.
How do you kill the frog that is being electrocuted in front of you?
So while it's being electrocuted and its mouth is open,
Yep.
I'm just going to reach in with one hand and rip out its tongue.
Okay.
This thing is fucking disgusting. Drop it on the ground and then skewer him.
All right. Yeah, the big frog dies. There is blood everywhere, and you have scared away all the little frogs. And I'm going to turn on.
And then I'll cast Create Water to try and get all this frog guts and saliva off of me as wet, and just try and get as clean as possible.
Cool. We listened to 35 minutes of frog songs.
Yeah, I had to pause it. That's enough of that.
Yeah, the big frog corpses are slowly being washed away. Did you stab this other one, or?
I didn't knock it into the water. Actually, in all honesty, I'll eviscerate it and just kind of stick the greatsword in and rip up,
Okay.
just to see if there's anybody inside, like it's eaten anyone.
All right, so Thurgus is ripping the frog corpses apart to check to see if there's any